Number 9, strategies for remembering loved ones. If I have to see somebody, because I really don't have a hard time with that as I say that, and then I had an issue with that before I was ever diagnosed with dementia when I had MCI. A loved one came and stayed, and I could not remember his name. I knew his name. I knew his name as well as my own, but when I would go to talk to him or call him, the name would not come. And so what I told somebody, and they told me that if I, every morning before I got out of bed, say their name 5 times and get it in my current memory. So I did that, and then it got to where it was no problem. So now when we're going to go somewhere to go on vacation to visit people, I actually do that before we leave. I start saying names. Every morning I say the names 5 times of the people we're going to go see in my head. And that way, when I see them, I'm in the habit of saying their name. So I might look at a picture and say the name, 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 and do it again the next day. And I do that for a while until it becomes part of my current memory. And then I can, when I see them, I call them by name because I've been practicing it. And that's going to come as a shock to some of you that are watching this that I went to see this summer, because I did have to practice your names in order to be able to pull them off. Because I had to pull them from back here to put them up here so that I could access them easy. Number 10. What was the first time I realized I had symptoms? Well, the first time I realized, I think other people realized before me. First time I realized that something was wrong was one day I forgot how to brush my teeth. And I went in and got the toothbrush out, and I honestly didn't know what came next. And I've said that one before, so I'm not going to dwell on it, but that was probably the first time it hit me that this is a little bit more serious than I've been giving it credit for being. Because I've been brushing my teeth my whole life, and I've never forgotten how to brush my teeth. So that was a pretty scary one. 11. Does it terrify me to think of not remembering any new memories? No, it really doesn't terrify me to think that I won't remember new memories. I guess I haven't thought about it a whole lot. The only time I notice it is when I'm watching a show, and then, well, like one time my boys said, I love sci-fi. Sci-fi is like my thing, and that and British comedy. So the boys said, can we watch Terra Nova? And I said, sure. And I didn't know what Terra Nova was. And I just didn't care. And I was sitting in my chair. And we watched the first episode. And I said, this is a great show. I said, how did this miss my radar? I said, this is a fantastic show. And they both looked at me like I had a horn growing out of my head. And they said, you've seen this show before. And I said, I have not. I've never seen this show before in my life. They said, you did too. You showed it to us. That's where we found it. And so I watched the whole season of Terra Nova. I honestly don't ever remember watching it before. I do that with movies. I can rewatch a movie and a TV series over and over again because I don't remember them. And I kind of like that in a way because there's always something to watch. So that doesn't bother me. What might bother me is that the things we do to make memories that I'll forget. But I always take lots of pictures, and I study those pictures over and over and over, much like I do names, and try to keep them more ingrained, because they're a lot more important than TV shows. Now, I know there'll come a time where as soon as it's over, it's over. But I want to say at this point that the emotion lasts longer than the memory does. And so even after I forget my boys' names or may not even know they're my sons, my love will still be there. And when I see them, I'll know that I love them and that they're safe. And that good feeling will stay with me even after they leave and I forget they've been there. That feeling will still be there. That love will still be there. And it hangs on a lot longer than does the memory. And I just want to assure people that, so that they don't think that, well, there's no reason to go see them. They won't remember I was there anyway. Well, no, but they'll remember the feeling of you being there. Because we don't forget our feelings. Our feelings are, even now, when I'm in a group of people that I've known for years up at the school, and I don't remember who they are. I don't remember exactly in what respect I might know them, but I know whether or not they were a friend or not. I know whether or not they're somebody I can trust. I know whether or not I like them. I know whether or not I don't trust them. I know whether or not they're not safe. I know whether or not I don't want to be around them. And so even though I don't remember exactly who they are, my emotions tell me whether or not they're safe, because my emotions remember them and tells me, oh, that's a safe person. Oh, that's not a safe person. So I got a little bit off track on that one, but I worry about, I want to make sure that the really important stuff stays with me. Right now, it's just little stuff that I'm dropping, at least to my knowledge. I know I'm dropping things like, Mom, I need new underwear, and things like that. But as far as dropping important memories, I don't think I'm doing that yet. If I am, I'm not aware of it. But I really don't think I am. What symptoms do I feel, and what makes me feel, and how do I feel on the moments when I do not remember or am mistaken? What symptoms do I feel? I sometimes, not always, very rarely, the symptoms I feel, as far as feel them, would be foggy, brain fog, and kind of feeling drunk and that kind of thing. But I'm not sure that that's the question. But how does it make me feel when I find out I've made a mistake or I didn't remember something? It makes me feel horrible. I feel stupid. And after I realize it, it's very humbling. And I figured out this summer that, now I've been playing music since I was 11 years old. So I've been playing music for a long, long, long time. And this summer, I realized I was helping my son with the piece on the marimba, which is what I played. And I taught him wrong. And I didn't realize I taught him it wrong until later. And after I got over the embarrassment, I said something, and he said, "You didn't teach me wrong." But I think he forgot that they corrected him at school, because it was like, I don't need that, you've been playing it wrong. And then I was giving a kid piano lessons, and I couldn't read the music. And that's my other language. Music's my other language. I could not read it. And I mean, it was back to like every good boy does fine and face, and good boys do fine always, and all cars eat gas. I was having a horrible time. Now, I could tell by my ear when he made a mistake or wasn't playing something right, but I couldn't read the notes, and I acted like it was because I couldn't see the paper well enough, but I couldn't read it. And I finally, as the third lesson, told his mother, I said, I don't think I'm doing him any favors because I can't read the music. And she said, I've already talked to him about how he feels, and he thinks you're helping him a lot. So even just your mentoring to him, because he wants to be a band director, even your mentoring to him is helping a lot. He's getting a lot out of it. So he wants to continue. So that made me feel good, because it made me feel like I had more to give than just reading the notes. But it also puts me in danger, because I was also, I'm also I have a degree, another one, in electricity, and I have gotten to where I won't work on electricity anymore, because I was showing my 22-year-old how to change a breaker, and we had the panel box off, and there's nothing to changing a breaker, and went through all the things you had to do. Changed the breaker, took it out, he put it in, did all that, put it back together, and after we got done, I don't even want to tell you what we did. Put the thing back together, and I forgot to turn the main off. I could have killed both of us. And after I realized I had done that, I won't do it anymore. I needed a ceiling fan, the ceiling fan changed. I was the one that put in the original one. I was afraid to do it, plus I can't be on a ladder. But a friend came over to do it, and we were having trouble figuring out how it goes. And finally, after much confusion, I asked her just to hold my back, and I went up there, and it came back to me for the moment, and we got it wired right. And once I got up there and looked at it and thought about it, and I had to ask, what does that line say? What does that say? And so I told her which ones go together, and then she put it together, and it's worked great. But I don't do that anymore, because it's stupid for me to do that, because I have respect for electricity. They'll get us all in trouble if I start messing with electricity. So, and it's sad, and it's heartbreaking, because I refinished the whole basement. I ran all new lights. I ran all new receptacles. I put up the drywall. I mudded. I painted it. I did all that, and now, I can't. I don't even want to change a plug, or light switch, because it's not safe, but it's also heartbreaking, and I hate to be corrected when I'm doing something, because when I do something stupid or say something stupid because of the dementia, and I'm trying to get past that. I'm trying to not let that bother me, but I do find that if I say a wrong word, we kind of laugh, but I'm dying on the inside. And so right now I'm feeling self-conscious. I guess would be the best way to say it. I'm very self-conscious of how I'm coming across, if anybody's noticing, if I'm doing anything goofy. When I know that when I'm in the daze or in the fog, or when you're drunk and trying to act like you're not drunk, but I'm not drunk, it's just the feeling I have. I'm very self-conscious. I try not to communicate with people, because I know that from my earlier days of actually partying, that the more you try to convince somebody that you are fine, the more you don't look fine. So I just try to shut up and just try to get through it. And the worst thing is, like going through drive-thrus, and I can't remember the orders. I can't remember how to order, and I think I have to have eye-to-eye contact. Eye-to-eye contact, I can pull it off, but if it's a speaker or a telephone, it's hard. 13. Do my sons ask questions about dementia or talk about it? No. They know about it. They've been told. So far, nobody's asked any questions. And I think that'll come with time. But right now, they know the word. They associate it with me. And except for my little goofy moments, this is all they know. They don't have the preconceived stigma, biases, about the disease. They haven't already formed an opinion about people with dementia, and so their example of dementia is me. And so I'm kind of a what you see is what you get kind of person. If something comes to my mind, it's meant to be spoken, and I don't mean I say everything I think, but like if a subject comes up in thought, I feel like I'm being told that that's something I need to share. And so every once in a while, things will come up, and I'll mention it, but there's never any questions so far. That they're still young, so I imagine the questions will come. But right now, they don't even talk about it.